problem of suffering can be understood easily and logically in a Christian, biblical context if you understand predestination and preexistence. Both are explained very clearly in the Bible for anyone who has truly studied it. Those who claim to be Christians and say that here on earth we have free will do not know what they are talking about. God does not prize suffering. Rather, each person receives what they deserve according to what they chose in preexistence, that is, in the life before the material universe appeared. So many people who call themselves Christian are seriously mistaken. They have not understood that God did not decide or cause someone to suffer. Everything is the effect of each person's own decisions, chosen in the life of the Spirit before the material universe existed. In a few words, by predestination we understand that the destiny each of us lives here on earth, which cannot be changed, was built from each fulfilled choice, from each act of will and decision in the state of preexistence, the life of the Spirit in which we lived, where we were created by God, and where we will return after leaving this material life. All the life we live here is the fruit of desires and pleasures accumulated as information in that life of the Spirit, and of the judgment to which we were subjected after the war in heaven in which man participated, each receiving on earth what they deserve according to the attitude they had there. If someone returned from sin to the perfect teaching of the Father, then that person earned the right to receive the power of the Holy Spirit here, by which they can return to God on earth through the gift of faith, by the sacrifice of His Son, Jesus Christ. If they did not return there, then they will not return here because they do not deserve for God to open their mind so they can return. Each person will live here as they chose to live according to the teachings they selected from the other side, and obviously, according to the merit of whether the Holy Spirit will reveal the truth to them or not. In fact, the chosen are those who, by their power in preexistence, returned.
God bound them to be saved.
They are rescued on this earth, knowing that here man has no power to return unless God intervenes to open his mind and guide him. The process itself is called predestination. It was built by God on the basis of the self-determination of the spirit field, exactly as each one wanted, and as each merited to live here in the end. You choose something important in life because you believe so, but in fact you were programmed, predestined to choose that thing at that moment. You cannot be God here on earth, especially since you depend on many things that force you to act. I will give a small example. The impression that you have free will on earth can affect many minor aspects like, for example, changing your socks from white to black, moving a cup from the table to the nightstand, turning on the TV when you want, and so on. But these cannot influence the destiny that will flow in the already predetermined direction set before you were born, because they do not change your decision. For example, that you want to be a pilot and not a butcher. Obviously, you will not be a butcher, because you feel that predestination within you that you are made to be a pilot. Even if you do not consciously realize you are predestined, to say you have free will would mean you are your own God, that you depend on nothing, not even nature, and that you can change anything at any time and govern everything, which is clearly impossible. In fact, we depend on matter, on physical needs at certain times, and on many other aspects of our relations with others that require us to live more or less within a necessary social and material system. So, where is your free will to radically change all of that? Obviously, it